gotta keep going. And now we know why James Comey killed any deal with Julian Assange, because Assange was going to prove that Russian DNC hack and election hack claim was a lie, and Comey knew it. It endangered his illegal counterintelligence investigation of Donald Trump. So now this is just WikiLeaks. So we're going to go on. To be clear, the moment Julian Assange gave the technical data, because he was looking to give technical data, the same NSA analyst, Bill Binney, talked about at length, it would have proven that Comey's illegal counterintelligence investigation of Donald Trump was predicated on a lie invented by the FBI, the DNC, and the Hillary campaign. It would also have exposed that the goal wasn't to investigate Russian acts, but to frame the president and questions about the fraudulent FISA warrants that came later, and spies the FBI embedded into the Donald Trump campaign 9 months before the investigation was even opened. If Julian Assange's deal went through, it would have led to big questions about why there was even a counterintelligence investigation opened by Comey. It was a coup, and people would see that and immediately recognize why he hid it from congressional oversight for 9 months in violation of federal law. Maybe someone should reach out to the Justice OIG and ask if he knows about all this on top of the criminal investigations of Comey that are already ongoing. Perhaps real Donald Trump
touching on me. I got another man, but he ain't like you. And I can be your baby mama, though I like to. Call me real late at night when my man is asleep, and take a red eye to the west side, up and down my spine, and let you feel what you've been missing. I'm so on fire. Call me, ooh, when you need me. You don't have to worry. Call me, we can do something. Take my hand when you're feeling lonely. It don't matter where we're at, let me put it on you. I got another man, but he ain't like you. And I can be a little lover, though I like to. Call me at the break of dawn. I'll be sure to meet you with no panties on. We can slip and slide, we can take a ride. Lots of love and we're missing, I'm so on fire. Call, oh, when you need me, you don't have to worry. Call me.
Call and ask if he can review the facts as well. So there's that going on there. Now, Tracy jumped onto a John Solomon piece that came out a couple of days ago. Like I said, he has been on fire. We covered him on this show many times over the last couple of months. He really has been. I'm just going to read this to you. Wait. There's something else I wanted to do. There was a second thread. I told Tracy I'd call her 7:25. They got another 60 seconds. Maybe there's something in this one I wanted to see. And just remember, Mark Warner is in on this. Mark Warner, I believe he took Dianne Feinstein's spot as the on the SSCI. He, Comey, Burr, so Republican, Democrat alike, Marco Rubio, they're all in this. They were in this to make sure that the Assange thing did not go through. And then, also, people like Marco Rubio and Burr, they actually helped cover up for all of these text messages that we are seeing between Mark Warner himself and Adam Waldman, who is the legal counsel for not only Christopher Steele, but Oleg Deripaska, the Russian oligarch that was being used to try to, he was first of all friends with Robert Mueller back in the day when he was the head of the FBI. He was used to actually try to get an FBI agent out of Iran, okay, trying to use his negotiating power and his own personal funds. And then he was also tapped on the shoulder by Mueller again, which is why this is a big conflict of interest. Tapped on the shoulder by Mueller again and his FBI agents that were going in there to talk to him about this Carter Page when Deripaska was in New York. And they said, listen, we think that Carter Page is working for the Kremlin to help get blah, blah, blah. Oleg Deripaska laughed in their face before he realized that they were actually serious. And he didn't go along with, going on and actually putting his name to any kind of swearing in or, testimony. They used him anyway. Either way, this is a guy, this Waldman character, goes and represents both Christopher Steele and Oleg Deripaska. And Mark Warner is texting with him, trying to get a secret meeting between he and Christopher Steele. A meeting that Christopher Steele does not want to do without everybody knowing about it. He's already starting to feel duress for everything that's going on. And this was all kept under wraps. And for the months and months and months it was kept under wraps, it was being covered for by Republicans and Democrats on this committee alike. Now, what the hell he was seeking out in this little get-together he wanted with Steele, we don't know. But I'm going to call up Tracy, and we're going to start sifting through this, because that is that. Hold up, baby girl, don't talk, just listen, this is the last time.
Royal Caribbean's Wow Sale is back. Get 30% off every guest and up to $300 to spend at sea. But hurry, this limited time offer ends Sunday. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Book your Caribbean adventure now.
have your own group's history of their struggles in America, so they should have some type of, so they should have something specifically for your group, right? Right? But see, when you say we, you can't name the we's in your group. The we always comes up somebody in my group. So I don't understand. You know, watching BGS's page, and I remember actually watching Ann Coulter when she talked about that, ironically. And her talking about that, civil rights are for black people, affirmative action is for black people, not all you other people. That's actually the truth. It wasn't made for you guys. It wasn't made for white people. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't made for Hispanics. It wasn't made for Asians. It wasn't made for Africans. It wasn't made for the LGBT. It wasn't made for that. You know? But everybody wants to act like it was because it benefited, right?
Then they'll tell you you're playing word games. You're just playing word games. You know, it's like, well, no, you're using words and concepts that you won't even define. You're just playing in these emotional games.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what we figure out that, as you pointed out earlier with worldview, that none of these things operate in isolation.
Right. Nothing
that we believe, and that's just inescapable. That's the way that the world that we live in is structured, such that there's nothing that I believe, nothing that I interact with, nothing that I experience, nothing that we debate ethically or whatever that doesn't have a context in the midst of a whole worldview. So, for example, I wrote an essay that people could check out that makes this argument that you can't, for example, believe something, say, ethical, that doesn't also necessarily entail something metaphysical and, by extension, epistemological. So, for example, if I believe that it's wrong to eat meat, that necessitates a lot of metaphysical beliefs about reality that I might not have intended just by saying I believe it's wrong to eat meat. It also necessitates a bunch of other things, like, for example, that the external world exists, that it's separate from me, or this or that. It entails all kinds of things. It entails that there's this thing called meat that's out there objectively in the world.
Or that there's a thing called wrong or right.
Yes, it entails the idea that I know I have an epistemological certainty about something being right and something being wrong, and I have a way to communicate that. So in other words, all this stuff is assumed, and you know, people just don't think to or know to ask those kinds of questions. They just hear something on a YouTube video, or they saw it in some propaganda thing that, oh, it's wrong to cause suffering or something like this. Well, I would say it's wrong to cause unnecessary suffering, yes. That's not a good idea. But it's not always wrong to cause suffering. For example, if, like you said, somebody busts into my house and they're gonna maybe rape my girlfriend or something like that, it's not wrong for me to kill them and cause them suffering.
Right. I guess one more thing, one last thing before we go to break, and this is one other thing that happened over the weekend. The demon baby from Passion of the Christ, Adam Schiff, he said the following. He said that Trump will likely see jail time once he's out of office. So this is the new one. And of course this headline was nesting on the front page of Drudge Report for hours and hours. Hours and hours. But that was probably lost on the average reader. Average reader. What was probably lost the most on the average reader here is that Adam Schiff is pretty much just telling people, we don't have anything on Trump. Number one, there is nothing on Trump. Nothing's going to happen to him legally when he's in office. Number one, the one thing that Robert Mueller is missing.
once a year or something like that. In fact, if you look at the UK think tank, that's one of these top globalist think tanks planning the future for austerity and the green agenda called Plandopolis. If you look at those videos on YouTube, those are a real YouTube, or a real think tank future. They talk about rationing meat to once every year on your birthday. So look at the Plandopolis video for the smart city. And by the way, this all ties into smart city stuff. And it's like this stupid British cartoon, and this chick's like, "Oh, did you know it's your birthday? You get meat once a year on your birthday, but you can't have it any time else."
I don't think so, because remember she came out of the that one meeting and she looks like a ghost. Let me look. Let me just pull up Google real quick. You keep reading.
You can do that, okay. So Comey and Warner, let's get fucking out of here again.
I'm sorry, I know. I'm overwhelming sometimes.
I had to just put the air conditioner on high. So Comey and Warner killed a deal that would have revealed a plot to overthrow an elected president. We know Mark has been one of the most rabid anti-Trump Democrats out there. And we were talking about that situation from the time that Solomon had published that one piece back in May, or June, whatever it was. In fact, we know that Mark Warner was actively working to assist the FBI plot. He reached out to Christopher Steele via whom? Waldman, the legal counsel for not only Steele, but Oleg Deripaska. There is no doubt that what Mark Warner was doing, or the fact that other never Trump rhinos like Senator Burr, Marco Rubio actively help hide the actions from the public. Real Donald Trump and other committees, you can see the text for yourself, and those texts are all out there. I'm going to publish... Go ahead.
You're not reading my thread.
Yeah, I am.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm on tweet number 6.
Hold on. This doesn't sound like my thread.
I'm reading it in my own... I might be jumping around from words.
Oh my God, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's everything's my own, okay? Either way, I'm going to be putting a collection of these links into show notes for tonight and putting them up on quitefranklypodcast.com. So there's only one, and now, so Tracy, if you're reading along, I'm on tweet number 7 now.
It should be familiar, Tracy.
Okay.
I'm very familiar. That's why I knew he wasn't reading it.
There is one and only one explanation for why Mark Warner helped Comey kill the Assange deal that would have protected the CIA from the Vault 7 disclosures, because both men were part of the coup against Donald Trump. It could only stay hidden and continued if the deal had died. Only question remaining now with regard to the Senate Intelligence Committee members, Senator Burr and Marco Rubio, among others, is if they too were active participants in the FBI and Team Obama abuse of FISA courts, embedded spies, and an illegal counterintelligence investigation to impeach the president. You know we're going to find out next. It's all going to come out. What the fuck is this? Wait a second. You're right. This isn't yours. You're right. This wasn't your thread.
That was a test, Tracy.
That was Harold Finch talking about a bitch.
Just wanted to make sure you weren't plagiarizing.
She was right the whole time. Okay, now we're going to get back into it for real.
I hope tomorrow's show's better than this, Frank.
I deserve a night off from time to time, don't I? I never take nights off. I hate taking holidays off to the FISA court. As revealed in the article, he also took breakfast meetings to meet with Steele with his wife Nellie. These meetings took place 2 days before the supposed official start of the Operation Crossfire Hurricane. As we moved through the exercise, and Nellie Orr, she was the one that moved out of the DOJ and into the loving arms of Glenn Simpson once the access to the FISA 702 queries were shut down, right, Tracy?
She had actually done work with the CIA in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she started working with Glenn Simpson, and then, ultimately we found the text messages about how they were moving from the Patriot Act to a wire-carrying current, which basically meant, Rogers pulled 702 access for contractors who were abusing it, and they were forced to stop using the Patriot Act, the NSA, and move over to actual phone taps.
And so this is where she goes and gets herself a ham radio license, and she slips into Fusion GPS, and she maintains contact with her husband. And Bruce Orr was in the DOJ's National Security Division. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so. He was number 5 in the DOJ, and in the FBI. Is
it also correct that, according to Sally Yates, the National Security Division was the only one that did not have congressional oversight, or did not have oversight by the IG?
There was no oversight over Mrs. Yates.
Okay, over Mrs. Yates, not the people underneath her?
Well, in general, she was the leader.
Okay.
She was the leader.
Okay, so pretty much they had umbrella coverage in the National Security Division of the DOJ and there was some wiggle room.
Thinking that I'm solo. 50 deep, they like, oh no. Cookie for the poor. Baking soda, I got baking soda. Baking soda, I got baking soda. Whip it through the glass, nigga. I'm blowing through the glass, nigga. I'm in love with the coke. I'm in love with the coke. I got it for the no. I'm in love with the coke. I'm in love with the coke. I'm in love with the coke. I got it for the no. I'm in love with the coke. 36, that's a kilo. Need a brick, that's my free throw. I'm in love just like Neo. Bustin' shots, that he Neo. Bring my homies from the CEO. Put the judge with my Neo. All this talk like a Neo. Water whip like a Nemo. Baking soda, I got baking soda. Baking soda, I got baking soda. Whip it through the